Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
Motherfucker.
big ones, little ones. We got Kratos Messi. We
Yo,
got me. We got a
regrettably.
podcast.
I'm kidding.
Now we got subjects to be racist about.
Nice.
How shall we kick it off today?
I was thinking maybe we can talk, I don't know, something about like self-improvement. Shall we try?
Ah,
Try going into
yes.
that maybe?
Shall we?
If you wanna.
I wanna.
You want?
I wanna.
I.
Let's get
Let's
into it.
go. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it.
Alright,
I.
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We have a fat people problem. I'm
Fat
just gonna
people.
kick it off like this, alright? There's too many of
Uh-huh.
y'all fat motherfuckers. Y'all causing pollution. It's not the fucking car mufflers. I know damn well because y'all be farting too much when you eating Taco Bell or whatever spicy shit you're into. Your butthole is probably looking like the Eye of Sauron. It's not good for your health. What do we do
So
about
that.
it?
I. So, number one is you gotta change up your diet. I think you gotta do.
That's
Right? That's
number
the.
one.
But you gotta first start small, right? Instead
Exactly.
of,
Just like
let's
my
say for
penis
example,
size.
or how many friends I have. Anyways, um, but basically, what you should do is like, if you eat a lot of fucking food that's like full of sugar, full of fat, then like first of all, first like instead of saying trying to like buy like five McDonald's burgers per day. How about you try ordering like four instead, right? Just order less.
There's
Like
people
like
that do that?
some people do. Some people
Holy
actually do that.
fuck.
But like that's like an extreme example, right? If you go to a restaurant and you're gonna order like I don't know, uh, fish and chips, right? And you have the chips in there, right? The fries. Instead of having fries, you can instead like slowly start like incorporating like I don't know, like vegetables or something instead, or having smaller portions of it. And then
Exactly.
like yeah, just start like that, right? And then gradually you start to like remove the fries eventually, and then you just stop eating fish and chips and eat something healthier, right? Eventually it'll get to that point, but you got to do it like consistently and like do like small changes really, because
Right.
like if you do too big of a change, then you're just it's like a rubber band effect in a way, where it's like if you pull the rubber band, right? It's like okay, it's stretching, and then you let go, and then it just comes right back. So like, yeah,
Interesting.
if you get my drift.
Interesting. So, since the first step is reducing all of the bad food that you have,
Hmm.
what would you say the step after that would be?
Physical exercise.
Right.
Find one trick that you can try, right? If you really don't like physical exercise, I read this in Atomic Habits. We'll get into that later. Is to incorporate what the author calls the 2 minute rule. The dude who wrote it, James Clear, he basically said, for example, if you're going to go to the gym, you'll go to the gym for 5 minutes and that's it, right? For like 2 or 3 weeks in the beginning, right?
Right.
You only do 5 minutes and that's it. After a while, you'll get to a point where you're like, okay, well, I come to the gym anyways consistently for 5 minutes, so I might as well just increase the time to like 10 minutes, right?
Mm.
So like, yeah, that's basically how you do it, and you just keep doing it over and over again until you get to like 1 hour, an hour and a half, and
All
then you
right.
have all these exercises to try out.
What about those workout regimens or the workout plans or the things that people sell all over the internet? Some of them might give them for free as PDFs. What do you think about those? Are those easy to follow for beginners or are they aimed at more
Um,
advanced trainees?
I think it depends, but like it's up to you like who you're following, right? Because like if you're following like people who have been going to the gym like alpha sigma males or something, right? Then like yeah, maybe their plans won't really work. Or
Mm.
if you, for example, follow V Shred, then his plans are just gonna make you fatter. So I'm not even kidding. He's actually like he's really bad. The advice he gives is like trash.
Right.
But if instead follow people who like give you, I guess, easier. easier plans, I suppose, like ones that are not too complicated
Right, or
and
ones
like
with the different levels of difficulty.
yeah,
Yeah, like for
like
example, if they're gonna give you push-ups in the regiment, they might include knee push-ups for whoever can't do regular push-ups.
yeah, that's basically it. Or if like you want to do pull-ups, right?
Right,
Instead of you should have like resistance band or like you can do negative pull-ups, which is basically just like an opposite of a pull-up. You pull yourself down in a way, then you get up on a
right.
stool and then you pull yourself down again.
Yeah, you start at the
That's what I
top, you start at the last part of the pull-up, and then instead of going down like regularly, you try to go slower than regular.
mm,
That way you strengthen your back muscles enough to stabilize you to get to your first pull-up eventually.
yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
how it goes in calisthenics, basically. Um,
basically.
a lot of calisthenics workouts start off with the progression of doing the negative of the workout. But that's besides the point. We'll get into that later. Right now, I
Okay.
do want to get into the people that have gone past the point of, cleaning up their food, right? They don't eat as
Mm,
bad, but now they're looking into eating actual healthy food, quote unquote. What
mm.
does quote unquote again healthy food mean? Because there's a lot of
Okay.
confusion in the
Well, I'm not a dietologist. I'm not a professional either. I'm just some idiot that just goes to the gym and is just like, oh, we go gym. But
yeah.
but I can give some advice,
We're
right?
just two gym bros
Um,
that
so basically some healthy food or like ingredients, I guess, that you can incorporate is like, well, okay. One is have like healthy vegetables and like try to get rid of as many like processed foods as possible. That stuff like I don't know, like well, what's an example of processed food?
unprocessed or processed food.
Unprocessed.
Unprocessed would probably be something like brown rice, something like oats, maybe some fruits, some vegetables. I'd say a lot
Mm,
of organic protein like fish, chicken,
yeah,
a lot of seafood. That's also
salmon's really good.
salmon, tilapia. Those are two of the best protein fishes in my opinion.
Mm,
Also chicken breast. The breast is the most calorie efficient slash protein efficient. So you'll get the best bang for your buck when you're eating chicken breast. But if you want to go for something a little bit juicier, a little bit more nicer, maybe go for a chicken thigh, which is
if
also
you have the
very
money
good.
for it,
Yeah,
yeah. Because like one thing that a lot of people struggle with is like budget. For example, like I'm kind of struggling with budget because like I'm just thinking like, okay, if I buy chicken here in Norway, literally a chicken breast for like 1 kilo, I think, is like is like $15, maybe 20.
jeez,
Like that's a lot.
that's a
That
lot.
is that's a lot, man. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
How much was it in Saudi Arabia again?
The chicken over here,
Yeah.
it's around 5, $6.
Oh my fucking god. You gotta be fucking kidding.
Yeah, around $6
Jesus.
for like four chicken breasts,
Damn.
like well sized. But I'd say probably whole grains. And if you're going
Whole
for
grain.
pastas, maybe go for whole grain pasta, whole grain bread,
Mm.
good old quinoa. Can't forget about it. Beans and legumes. And for those who like
Lentils,
to eat a
yes.
lot of candy or just sweets addicts, I guess, you could
Just
substitute that with a fruit. There's always a fruit that tastes like your favorite candy. I've discovered that.
mm.
Also got potatoes and whatever kind of vegetable you find on hand.
Yeah, all the good stuff really.
It's just
Uh,
basically a good rule of thumb would be if it didn't exist 2000 years ago, it's probably not good for you.
Probably not.
It's probably not good for
And
you. If it didn't exist in the Middle Ages, it's probably not good for you.
if it didn't exist in the perfect economic system designed for human beings, feudalism, then maybe you shouldn't eat it. But
Yeah.
anyways, you were expecting me to say communism or something, but nah, I ain't
I
saying
mean,
that shit. Nah,
it
no way
is
in hell, bro.
it is a superior system, let's be honest.
Capitalists and communists right now shaking in their legs, shaking in their boots.
What are these two
Im,
kids are gonna
im,
talk about?
im,
Tread carefully now.
imagine electing your president instead of having them ordained by God.
Oh
Damn.
God, no. Hell no.
Damn. But
No, since we covered the food aspect of becoming healthy, let's
mm,
cover the next important aspect. Obviously, diet is number one. Diet is king.
yeah.
You could live your entire life on good, healthy food and just, being living in an active lifestyle, and you will
Hmm.
have lived a good life. But if you
Yeah.
want to step it up, if you want to level it up, aka look good naked, you gotta work out a little
Hey.
bit.
Mm,
You gotta look good.
yeah.
So, how would you go about working out? What is the most popular options for whoever wants to get into working out and getting more physically fit?
I would say it depends on the person. Like, it depends on your style, because like genetics also play a role in it. So, and like you can kind of pick and choose in a way. It's not very easy, but like what I personally like to do is like I split my week up into like on Monday I do like upper body day, so that's like chest and back and arms, and then
Right.
on Tuesday, I do legs, and then like Wednesday's rest. Then Thursday's upper body day, and then Friday's lower body, and then rest for the weekends. That's how I do it. One thing I will say is like don't do push pull legs, because like you're only training one specific area of your body once a week
Mm.
rather than doing it twice or three times a week instead. So don't do that.
Well, it kind of depends on the split because I've seen a push-pull leg split that goes 6 days in a row.
Yeah,
So you
that
basically, but it's very tiring.
I tried that, I think,
It's very
and
tiring.
it was really tiring. Yeah,
But at the end of the day, it just depends on your style. Some people have nothing to do but work out and eat healthy.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like that, like literally they sleep in the kitchen while cooking food.
Yeah,
So yeah,
some people just, this is their life. Maybe this is how they make a living, so that fits for
like
them.
bro, bro, they be making their oven the campfire. Like, like they're literally sitting in the in the kitchen trying to
They're
sleep.
they're telling stories around the roasting turkey in the oven.
Gather around, kids. There's free Wi-Fi in my kitchen.
So your example was working out with weights, right?
Yeah, weightlifting.
Yeah, so weightlifting, which is specifically designed to build muscle. Like that is
Yeah,
the most easiest, friendliest, like it is the most efficient way, in my opinion, to build muscle. And
mm,
it has the lowest curve out of all of the exercises you might do for specifically bodybuilding,
yeah,
right? Other
mm,
forms of bodybuilding, which is what I do, is calisthenics. It is a bit let's just call it unique. It's a bit unique.
what do you mean?
There is a lot of difficult exercises, even for entry level, when it comes to calisthenics, but thankfully there was a lot of modifications, and the community doesn't stop producing like easier levels for the exercises.
Yeah,
So let's say the dip, for example, right? I have rings that are hung up on my pull-up bar, and I tried to do ring dips, which was incredibly difficult. I could barely just stay up on the rings, let
yeah.
alone do a dip and come back up.
Bro, if I try doing it on rings, like I don't know what it is. It's like my hands just shake like crazy on
Yeah,
anything. Like like flies, for example, trying to do cable flies. Like it
yeah,
just it looks like I have like fucking what's it called? Parkinson's disease or something. Like seriously,
Somebody
that's how
walks
much
in
I
on
shake.
you. Grandpa, what are you
Basically,
doing? No, no, it's just me.
oh no, I'm just trying to work out.
I'm just trying to do this. But no, so I looked up how to do ring dips and I looked at all the progressions
Mm,
and I found a progression that fits me, thankfully, which was basically lowering the rings let down. Like at first they were at my waist height,
mm,
and then I lowered them down to about maybe above my knees a little bit.
yeah,
And there you go, I was doing ring dips on the rings, but just in an easier progression.
I heard you can also do something similar like that with like pull-ups, where like you put the rings really low and like you can kind of like pull yourself up a little bit,
Well,
and then
yeah,
eventually
but
you can.
instead of it's basically the same thing, but it's the same position. Just instead of your hands being at your waist doing dips, you just
Mm,
have them up. So you have them at the perfect level where you can stretch your feet out in front of you, right?
yeah.
With your butt being slightly above the ground, so it's not just sitting,
Oh,
and you just lift yourself up. But you have to make sure that you're in full extension when it comes to the
range of motion.
yeah, you have to be your arms have to be fully extended for you to get full range of motion.
You should you should also kind of like uh get your in a position where like if you're, let's say for example you're doing a bench press, right?
Right.
Or no, actually pull-ups, normal pull-ups, that's a better example.
Mhm.
It's better to like when you're pulling yourself up, it's like okay, that's fine, but you when you're putting yourself down, right? Go all the way down to the point where you feel your lats kind of stretch in a way,
Right.
because there have been like studies showing that like those who were like stretching your muscle kind of, right, actually leads to more muscle growth.
One of the best stretches and grip strengtheners is just hanging on the bar.
Hmm. That
Some would do it
that does.
for I mean a good rep range would probably be like 30 seconds to a minute. It's a good rep range.
Hmm. 30
Or
seconds works pretty well.
like yeah, that could be a whole like set for you. So you could do
Hmm.
like 3 sets of 30 seconds and in not so long time you'll find out how strong your grip got and how easier it became. But man, when I started
I mean,
doing those, my wrists, man, the pain was just so unreal. It felt like boot camp almost.
some people train their grip in other ways, in for example bathrooms.
Ah,
You know what I
yes,
mean?
yes, yes, yes. Uh,
Fuck.
weird, awkward sounds may occur.
Cheese Rick.
Your mother knocks the door on you. What are you doing? So I was strengthening my grip. Hold on. Hold on, mom. I'm strengthening my grip.
Jesus Christ. Well, yeah.
Miku-san, you look so good.
Why does your right arm look so big? It's so veiny.
Oh, I've been
Oh
lifted.
no.
I've been lifted. Lifting this
But
dick. No.
yeah. Oh hell no. But yeah. Uh, I guess another thing that we can focus on, and I guess this is a nice transition thing, is like having the mindset for it, and like the mental health to do it. I think
Right.
that's we're gonna transition. Not very smooth one, but whatever. Um,
It's not. This is not
we
the smooth podcast. This is the flaming podcast.
exactly we be flaming bitches,
Exactly. We
but
don't segue unless if there's an ad. Which
this podcast is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legend. No, I'm kidding.
no, no, they
Um,
don't download their game. It's annoying.
don't, yeah, they're actually trash games. They're
It's
just
it's it's
microtransactions and
it's
that's it.
actually like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, right. So discipline, right? What a lot like okay, that's the you got the food down. You can do everything, but the thing is,
You got the
discipline is really
knowledge in
hard.
your mind. Yeah.
Hmm. Now, how do you put that into practice, right? What do you think? What do you
Well, I'd say a good way to put that into practice is just switching the mindset from trying to stop doing this to I just don't do this.
Mm,
You see, it
that's
sends a
like,
very strong message when you get the urge to do something that you don't want to do anymore. And
mm,
instead of telling your brain, but I'm stopping or I'm quitting, it's a bigger and stronger message if you just tell yourself that you just don't do this.
mm.
A very
It's
prime
like,
example is people having problems with beating their meat. That's unfortunately is a problem in this
yeah,
generation.
sadly it is. I shouldn't even be laughing, bro.
I
But
mean, the way to go about it is just how do I say this? Since this is the most prime example, I'm just gonna talk about that example.
mm,
How you go about it is just whenever you get the urge, whenever you feel the horny, as the kids call it, you just
okay,
don't do it.
that's easier said than done, but
Yes, it is
okay.
easier said than done, but what is how, let me walk you through it.
Mm,
Right? You're sitting at your desk. You got horny. What do? You go grab your lotion. No, you don't. You tell
mm,
yourself, okay, I'm horny, I'm hard. You acknowledge it, right?
mm-hmm.
And then you enjoy being a functioning guy. Just
You just,
enjoy having urges, enjoy being horny, because when you're old, you won't get those anymore. You just sit there and be proud of yourself for being a man.
mm,
You don't go beat your meat. You
you're
don't
not
go
a
throw a
degenerate.
tantrum.
You're not degenerate,
You're
bro.
not
Like,
addicted
come
to it.
on.
Some people beat their
No.
meat even if it doesn't feel good, which makes me
Yeah,
deeply sad.
yeah, it's just like, bro,
It's like a
you're kind
chronic
of wasting your
addiction.
energy away.
It's not
You
even
just,
about wasting energy. It's about when it gets to a point where the thing that is supposed to be sacred that you only do when you need to
mm,
turns into something like to a habit. Like you need it as much as you need to drink water each day.
yeah,
And when it
literally
gets to that
drinking water
point,
now.
oh yeah, when it gets to that point, it's not okay. It's
No,
just not.
but yeah, I
But yeah, that's how you get into the what do you call it? Into the mindset. You just convince yourself that you do not do that thing anymore, and you start living like the person you want to become. You envision how you want to become in the future. You imagine it, and you make a plan. You write it down. You follow up on
mm,
it, and you ditch your old life because that's not you anymore. You denied that life.
mm,
You're improving yourself. You're becoming a better person. That's where the
basically,
secret becomes more apparent.
I I know like what you said before, right? With like not doing it anymore, right? Is like that's basically like shifting your frame in a way,
Yeah.
where it's like an example of it is like let's say for example you're at the gym, right? You're
Mm,
working out, and then you see this really cute fucking girl, right? This really fucking pretty girl. I don't know, blonde hair, kind of short and like fit, right?
of course, they
And
gotta be short and
you,
fit.
yeah, totally not my bias. Anyways, um, so basically, person A, there's gonna be two people, right? Person A is like thinking, okay, he wants that girl, right? He's just like, shit, how do I get her? How do I speak to her? How do I do that? How do I do that? What do you think is actually happening to his body when he's thinking all those thoughts? What do you think? What do you think is
he's
happening?
he's getting stressed out.
Exactly.
He's wasting energy. Yeah.
His body reacts to how his thoughts do, right? And so that's how his frame works, right? And so his physical frame starts slouching, he starts like closing off, right? Because like he like evolutionary speaking, right? He is trying to protect himself from danger, right? When he's
Mm.
stressed, all because of his mind, right? And so he just doesn't ask the girl out, right? And then it's just fucked, right? Now, let's say we have person B instead, right? Person B, same scenario. He's working out, sees a cute fucking girl, right? Really cute girl, everything. Instead of like worrying about it, right, and just thinking like, oh no, what am I gonna do? What do I say? What do I say? Instead, what he does, right? Here's an interesting thing that he does, right?
What?
He instead thinks in his head like, don't, no, what was it? It was like he instead thinks of like the reward after like asking the girl out, right?
Right.
And he thinks about the reward of after it, right? He thinks about like getting her number, her snap, or making her laugh or giggle or something, right? And he keeps
Well, you know
thinking
what
like
they
that, right?
say. If you can make a
He
girl laugh and giggle,
exactly,
you can make them
but
chiefs clap and jiggle.
God, I wish. Anyways, but yeah, that's the main thing. Is like this person B, he instead thinks of the reward after, right? Not the act of like going up to her and talking, right? No, it's the act of like after getting her, right? Getting her number or
Right.
something, right? So when he thinks like that, right, his body sort of like adjusts to that way of thinking, right? So now he becomes more strength. He now looks a bit bigger and more confident, straight back, good posture, everything, right? Now he goes up to the girl, right? And now it's a lot easier for him to talk to her, right? He,
Hmm.
he he actually talks to her, and then he succeeds, right? He gets like a flirty smile from her or something, and then yeah,
Hey,
there you
maybe
go.
it gets her number. Who knows?
Yeah. So basically, a lot of it is just like how how to shift your mind, right? Instead of
Exactly.
um instead of thinking, another way of putting it is like, instead of thinking that you're nervous to talk to a girl, right? One way you could see it is like you're actually kind of excited to talk to the girl. Because like when you think about it, physiologically, I guess, or physically, nervousness and excitement are really the same thing. It's just your perception of it, right?
Mm.
So it's like, and in the future, right, when you're like, if you've had a crush when you're 13, right, and then you look back on it when you're like 20 years old, right, you'll realize that it's like, oh wow, I was actually really excited rather than nervous to talk to the girl, right? Because I really wanted to talk to her and everything. Because like it's kind of a nice feeling to have. So that's
Right.
kind of like one way you can see it, I guess. That can help you get some bitches on your dick. Uh,
Apparently,
yeah,
this podcast is also self-improvement as well as female coaching. What do they call it these days? Female
I
pimping?
don't know. Dating advice.
Dating advice, I guess.
I guess we're pickup artists. Oh, great.
Ah, yes. You
I
wanna
would
see a
not
magic
want to do
trick? I can make this napkin disappear.
that.
Yeah, that's what I think when I hear the word what is it called? Pickup artist.
Hmm.
I
It's
just
just
imagine a really bad magic show.
basically it's like, and even then, yeah, those people are like part of the red pill. Those people are. I mean, they have some good points, but like a lot of it is just
But
not
nah,
good at
before
all.
we move on to the next subject, I just want to say that
Mm.
basically the way you go about changing to the person that you want to be, well, it's not really changing. Think about it more as an improvement.
Improving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, whatever you have in your mind, whatever your mentality is like, that will pretty much be, and forever will be, what you project into the world.
Yeah. It isn't it kind of like the law of attraction, where it's like the thoughts you have determine the external factors or influence the
Yeah.
external factors.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
is. This is why they say you should laugh more, you should move more, you should what do you say?
Smile more.
Yeah, remove all the
Smile more,
negative
especially.
people. Yeah.
Mm. Uh,
Because however your mental is feeling and whatever perception you have of yourself is at the end of the day, it's what you're gonna project to the world. If you wake up today and you think to
mm.
yourself, I'm one good looking motherfucker. Today's gonna be a good day. You're gonna
Today
walk
was a
around
good
with your
day.
chest puffed out, looking like you own the Empire State Building.
Dude's literally turning into Ice Cube by the second.
Exactly. Hey, maybe you'll unlock the N word. Who knows? If you're
The
awesome
N-word
enough.
pass. Man, I wish. Anyways,
One
um,
day, maybe one day.
you know, one thing that really helped a lot. This one, okay, this is advice I kind of want to give to like lonely people, I guess, or
Ah,
people on
yes.
self-improvement who are like feeling lonely. Because like I felt like that a few days ago, like probably yesterday or the day before. But you actually helped me realize this. But like if you are on self-improvement, right, and you realize that there are a lot of people who are a lot of people you used to talk to, right? They just don't talk to you, right? And you don't have many friends, right? And you feel kind of like left out, right? Like FOMO, fear of missing out. One thing that you can actually think about is like, um, instead of wanting to have a million friends, a million like friends that never actually care about you, right? Instead, you can think like, well, what what kind of friend? Like, how do I formulate this? It's more like if you're that person, instead think, how can these people benefit me, and how can I benefit them, right? Because like there's a saying, you are the average of five people that you hang out with, right? If you hang out with druggies, right, then well you're gonna end up being a druggie, right? But if you end up being with successful people, then well there's a good chance you'll end up being successful yourself. So if you have a goal, right? Let's say for example you want to read more, right? You can instead of like looking for a million friends who don't actually matter, right? Look for that one guy that's a bookworm. He reads all the time, right? And befriend him. Literally be friends with him and value him. Form a close like connection with him. And then that way, instead of having like, like instead of being jealous of people who have like their Snapchat feeds going off like crazy on their phone, right? Instead, you'll have a friend who has the same goals as you, and like you'll feel a million times better than they ever will. Because
Mm.
like that's just how it is. That's something that kind of helped me as well yesterday, and you helped me realize that. So thank you.
Nah, no problem. Definitely, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was gonna write that
basically,
down.
a lot of the time, people forget that they are living their life for themselves and just start living for other people, or
Mm,
just start living for, I guess, pleasing and wanting to fit in. It is a
yeah,
normal need for a human to feel um, included, I guess is the good way to put it.
yeah,
It's very important for a human to feel included, but it's still your life and it's still your goals. Everybody has their goals and dreams, and if you really want to achieve them, you have to surround yourself by like-minded people that will at least help you achieve them. Otherwise, there's
yeah.
no use for them in your life, to be honest.
Basically, because it's
No.
like yeah, if you just surround yourself by druggies, then there's a good chance you'll become a druggie.
Yeah.
So, and I guess I can give it like my own experience of it, if you don't mind. I guess.
Oh yeah, go ahead, please.
Like I think like a year ago, I was in a group chat, and this was back in my beta days, right before I became the alpha Chad that you guys know today.
Ah,
Um,
yes. Pre-Kratos.
mm-hmm. Pre Kratos Messi. Um, I used to play video games a lot. This last summer was like the lowest point in my life, right? Because like I played video games all the time. I was eating and drinking like shit,
Right.
and like yeah, I barely got out and everything, right? And yet, well, somehow I got a girlfriend. I don't know how. Don't ask me how I fucking did that, but yeah. But
Hey,
even that,
hey,
right?
after the podcast, gotta tell me the
y-
secret.
Yeah, I'll tell you the secret. But 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 even then, right? Even being in that relationship, right? Like, yeah, it was nice. Like the girl I was with, I was like, although I was happy in the relationship because the girl was nice and sweet and everything,
Mm,
I still wasn't really that. I still kind of suffered through it because I wasn't really ready for relationships, and like, yeah, there are reasons for that. Which I don't know if we can come back to it later in like a separate time, but
right.
but you know, um, but anyways. when I was still playing there, I was in a group chat that I've been in for 2 fucking years, right?
Right.
I joined from a game. I joined the group chat from a game called Overwatch, right? Some FPS
Oh
shooter. It's
God.
yeah, I know. I should have played TF2 instead, but it wasn't even on PlayStation, so what the fuck could I do?
Mm.
But um, so I was in this group chat, and the problem was is like they were, they like, they drank all the time, and they talked about sex all the time and everything, and I just didn't feel included, or like I can't, it's not that wasn't included. It was more like I felt out of place, out of touch, I guess, because like
You wasn't in your crowd.
yeah, because I thought to myself, well, I don't want to live like this. This isn't what I want. So what I ended up doing was like um after after a summer, right before school began, I packed everything, like all the video game consoles and everything,
Mm.
and eventually I started slowly distancing myself away from the old group chat, because I was because at that time I was actually developing new values, right? I was developing new shit, and eventually I just straight up left them, left the Instagram chat literally out of nowhere and just dipped, because like I
Mm.
knew that if I kept staying there, I would never get anywhere. So
Did any of them try to contact you after you left?
nope, because
Oh
I
wow.
delete because they well maybe on PlayStation they did, but I never went back to PlayStation ever again.
Mm.
Never. I deleted the app. I deleted Instagram. This was after I broke up with the girl in September. I did it in October, but I broke up with the girl in September, a month prior.
Oh
So I
wow.
just left. I know it sounds kind of mean, and it might sound cruel, but like, I mean,
It's still your life though. Sometimes you have to be
exactly.
selfish.
It
Sometimes you have
sounds
to take
bad.
that decision.
Yeah. Sometimes, like, the way I saw it is like this, right? Either I stay in there and I never get anywhere in life,
Mm.
or I make the sacrifice of leaving them and at least have a chance, have some, have like a shot at success, or like at living a happier, more fulfilling life. So I
Exactly.
thought, well, yeah, why not go with that? It's my life at the end of the day, and like, you know, I don't have anything against the group chat, but I just don't want. I just didn't want to be there anymore. So that's why I just left. And
Exactly.
now that's why I'm looking for people to surround myself with, like you, for example.
Hey.
Like you're on self improvement too. So I'm just like, shit. I gotta keep this guy.
They're like
I gotta keep
shit.
this motherfucker.
Let's make a project. Let's do a
Yeah.
podcast. Get people on self improvement. Politics?
Politics. Nancy Pelosi.
God damn it,
No, I'm
Biden.
kidding. God damn you, Biden. But yeah.
Nah.
But yeah, that's that's kind of my experience with it. With what was it you said again?
What was the question again?
Yeah, surrounding yourself with good people, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's kind of my experience. So
Man, oh man. What an interesting story.
yes,
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this was the Flaming Podcast coming at you again. Different energy, different subjects. But
yeah. Uh,
shit, I don't know how to do this intro. Kratos, help me out. I mean,
outro,
outro.
I mean. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's do it again. Okay. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Flaming Podcast with your boy Kratos Messi and Quantino, and
Yes.
the say different topics, different energies, as you said.
Same
So yeah,
podcast.
same podcast, and don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, to to stay hydrated, uh, to uh,
And
what's the
elect Kanye for 2024. This, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Flaming Podcast. We'll see you later.
we'll see you next time.